And welcome back to high school basketball action on PHHS Channel 6. We're at halftime. Port Huron Northern trails the Port Huron High Big Reds 25-12. Let's run down the first half scoring leaders for you. For Port Huron High, Akila Collier had 7 points. Julie Berry with 6. Naomi Wilson had 4. LaTosha Campbell with 4. And Catrice Knight and Carrie Golding each with 2 for Port Huron Northern. Holly Burt and Jennifer Adwell, along with Jennifer Perry, all with 2. And Sherry Smith, the leading scorer, with 6. Something that Port Huron High has been proud of all year, a very balanced scoring attack, Randy.
Well, you can see in the numbers there, very balanced attack for Port Huron High. And as you can also see, a very unbalanced attack for Port Huron Northern, as Sherry Smith has half of the Lady Huskies' 12 points starting the third quarter.
Both teams back out on the court now. Kelly Nichols will be starting in this half along with Naomi Wilson in the backcourt. Up front it'll be the Berry sisters, kind of like the Gibb brothers, I guess. Julie and Christy Berry and LaTosha Campbell up front. For Port Huron Northern, Bird along with Perry, Peak, Smith, and Jennifer Adwell for Port Huron Northern. 25-12 our score, just underway here in the second half of action. 25-12 in Northern with the ball. Jennifer Perry, right wing. Trying to toss it out front, stolen by Naomi Wilson. It's a foot race that Naomi wins, lays it up lefty and in. Good ball movement by Naomi Wilson.
Very, very nice steal. Have you also noticed with the left hand there?
To avoid the block. Boy, that was a nice play. Sherry Smith kicks it back out top. Peak 15, 18-footer, won't fall. Rebound tapped around, taken by Smith. High off the glass. Rebound, no. Rebound to Port Huron High. Naomi Wilson again on the run. She'll stop, pop, up off the glass, won't fall. And Sherry Smith's ankle is hurting her. She's still down at the other end. The bucket made by Berry.
She's grimacing. Number 52, Leanne Stoken, is going to come in the next whistle. And I'd be very surprised if you saw Sherry Smith for the rest of the night. I don't think Coach Krzyzewski will take a chance with the rest of the night.
You're exactly right. Atwell misses a shot for Port Huron Northern. Naomi on the run again, up ahead and laying it in is Kelly Nichols. Will have the foul, and I believe we're going to count the bucket or no. No basket. The official John Haas making the call. The foul goes on Holly Burt. 29-12 our score. Port Huron High with the 17-point lead. They have the ball. 6:53 to go here in the third quarter, and indeed Jennifer Smith does make that Sherry Smith. I don't know why I keep calling her Jennifer. Sherry Smith checks out of the ball game. Stoken checks in. Naomi Wilson high in the air. 12-footer rolls and falls. Wilson with 8.
Well, that's the thing that Northern didn't want to happen. Northern needed to come out and really go at Port Huron High, and we've seen just the opposite. Port Huron High has increased their lead to 31-12, just underway in the third quarter.
Atwell fires and fills the rainbow 12-footer.
That's the shot Jennifer took at least 6 times in the first half, didn't convert, and now she's 1 for 1, and they're going to need her to go, especially with Smith out of the lineup.
Naomi Wilson follows her own shot, laid back up, tapped away. And back into the hands now of Berry. She'll lay it in. Julie Berry with 10 on the night.
Well, the thing that Northern, besides the height they lose in Sherry Smith, and noticeably their best player, they lose her leadership. And you can see that in the Lady Huskies. They really don't know what to do with the ball now that their leader's out of the ball game.
Yeah, the one that they go to all the time isn't in the ball game, so now they have to find somebody else to go to, and they're having trouble right now. LaTosha Campbell is fouled as Jennifer Adwell trying to get the steal.
Well, this is where the two Jennifers, Atwell and Perry of Northern, have got to reach down like they've been doing the last 3 ball games with Sherry Smith sideline with that ankle injury, and bring the Lady Huskies back into this ball game before too long. Good
to see the Huskies still battling real hard despite the 19-point deficit, trying to get a defensive play. Try to get a turnover here and get an easy bucket. Inside they'll go to Berry, won't fall. Rebound taken by Atwell, up ahead to Burt. Burt will slow things down, bring it up across the timeline, wait for Perry to get up the court. Of course, Jennifer Perry bothered a bit by an ankle injury as well. Adwell turnaround 12-footer, short rebound taken by Adwell. She'll fire it up again, won't fall. Rebound taken by Berry for Port Huron High. Chasing it down is LaTosha Campbell, the big man for Port Huron High, and she'll lay it in. Campbell now with 6 on the night.
She got that ball at half court and just took it in like she was running a 100-yard dash. Good speed for the Lady Big Red player.
Perry thinking about the 18-footer, doesn't take back instead. to Stoken. Cross-court pass to Peak, 17-footer on the way and through. Kathy Peak with her first bucket of the night. It's 35-16, 4:45 to go here in the third. Naomi Wilson with the ball, gets it inside now for Julie Berry. Turnaround won't fall, tapped into the hands of Christy Berry, won't go. Rebound into the hands of Jennifer Atwell. She'll kick it back to Holly Burt.
Well, the Lady Huskies real fortunate there. Lady Big Reds had 3 good shots, nothing could go, and they really need to convert here on this offensive possession.
Out top for Perry. Tried to get it to Holly Burt. Ball out of bounds to Port Huron High. 35-16 our score here with 4:21 remaining in the third quarter. Port Huron High with the lead and the ball. In the back court, Akila Collier across the timeline. Berry, Julie Berry, fires and fills from 12.
Julie Berry, averaging 6.3 points a game, has got is closer to that average tonight. She also averages 9 rebounds a ball game.
Ball blocked by Port Huron High, taken there, and up ahead. Laying it up won't fall for Port Huron High. 3:45 to go, 37-16 our score. And Port Huron High with the ball.
Number 30, Dana Stein, checks in the Lady Husky lineup for number 50, Jennifer Perry. And number 50, Christy Hano, checks in also for the Lady Big Reds.
Trying to go out top to Collier. Collier working against her woman and lays it up and in. Fires a running jumper from 10. You don't want to call them men, but it's kind of a generic term at this stage when you're talking athletics. They call it a man-to-man defense, whether it's women's or men's basketball. Nothing sexual involved in that at all. Firing and won't fall for Port Huron Northern's Holly Burt. Ball tapped out of bounds.
It's good to see 2 things here in the third quarter so far. Port Huron Northern, again, even though they're trailing heavily, you'll never see, that's one thing I've noticed with Coach Jasewski's teams over the years, you'll never see that team quit. No battle to the final horn, and give Coach George Pompa, he's getting some players who haven't seen a lot of opportunity into the ball game with this big lead, and he's to be commended for that. There's no sense of risking injury to some of the star players with this big of a lead.
Also no sense in trying to rub salt into the wounds of Port Huron Northern. They trail by 23, 39-16 as Holly Burt brings it across the timeline with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. They go to Stoken. Stoken 12-footer from the side, won't fall. Rebound tapped around and taken by Port Huron High, but out of bounds. And it will go over to Port Huron High. Apparently the ball hit the end line before Port Huron High's player grabbed it.
I thought referee Paul Newingham was, yes he did. I noticed that number 52, Leanne Stoken, pushed the Lady Big Red player, and he did call a foul on number 52. We got a good refereeing tonight from Mr. Haas and Mr. Newingham.
They've done a fine job. Inside it'll go, laying it up, won't fall. Rebound tapped around. Into the hands of Golding, won't go. Hano gave it a whirl, wouldn't fall for her either, and Burt comes down with it. Back to Adwell, 2.5 to go in the third. Port Huron Northern trails 39-16. Into the corner for Stein, back out top for Adwell. Long range triple falls short. Rebound to Collier. Collier on the run, one-on-one with Adwell. Stops, pops from 12, high off the iron, won't fall. Rebound taken by Hano, wouldn't go the first time, second time won't go. Back to Collier.
Well, you can just tell that Akila Collier, only a sophomore, is a very poised player.
Oh, very, very talented indeed. Poise, talent, everything. A steal by Port Huron Northern goes up to Jennifer Atwell now with 2 minutes to go in the third. Atwell works between the circles. Down into the corner now it'll go. Trying to drive was Katie Carey, and she's fouled.
Well, it's good to see Katie Carey, number 32, just a sophomore, elevated up to the varsity there. Her sister was a co-captain a couple years ago, who I believe went on to go to college at the University of Michigan. Inbounding the ball now for the Lady Huskies.
Ball thrown wide and taken by Collier. Collier on the run. She'll go coast to coast, lay it up. She doesn't get the chance. Is fouled by Atwell.
Again, I always believe there's such a thing as a good foul, and that was a good foul. Keeley had an uncontested layup there, and Jennifer came and again, they get the ball out of bounds, so no harm.
Neither team in the bonus. Sherry Hubbard will now check out of the ball game. With 1:45 to go here in the third quarter, George Popa clearing out his bench. Inbounds it'll go back out top now for Akila Collier and a 3-second call.
Well, we've got a pretty good crowd here tonight. We encourage people to come out to these games. The Lady Huskies, Lady Big Reds all play on Tuesday and Thursday night, even though we've got a junior varsity football game going on right next to us at Memorial Stadium, and we're battling Cosby and the Simpsons tonight, Steve. We've got a pretty good crowd.
Not a bad turnout when you take all those into consideration. Well, I'll tell you, Katie Carey goes left wing now for Port Huron Northern. Working it to Holly Dunn, back out top for Carey, and around to Stein. Stein, 15-footer on its way up the glass and through. Something to cheer about for Northern fans. Back up ahead, it'll go to Haino, and she is fouled by Port Huron Northern. She'll go to the line for a pair.
Steve, I know we don't get seen too often on TV, even though this is being produced for Channel 6. But if you ever come to the Port Huron High Gymnasium, you'll know why people want a new stadium at Tiger Stadium, because you can watch Steve trying to announce the game here, and you're looking behind poles, just like they have at Tiger Stadium there, and you can't see when it's down in the far south corner, left south end of the gym. You cannot see who has got the ball because of the pillars that are in front of us here, just like Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, they gave us the obstructed view seats. I want to talk to the manager. Haino makes the first of two. For the radio side, you're usually up top, and for the TV side, you're down here, and it's a little bit tougher. Haino makes both. Nice form on both of those for Christy Haino, her first two of the night. It's 41-18 now, just over a minute to play in the third quarter. Out top for Katie Carey, down into the corner. Long-range bomb for Atwell won't fall. Rebound taken by Port Huron High. Up ahead we go from Nichols. Had it stolen away by Stein, and Carrie Golden go to the floor in a heap, and we'll have a foul on the play.
Unfortunately, both players got up quickly and are fine. And again, both these teams can't afford to lose any more players due to illness or any injury of any sort.
That's for sure. The foul goes on Golding with 49 seconds to go. Here in the third quarter, 41-18 the score. Port Huron Northern trailing by 23. Into the corner it goes. Stein kicks it back out top for Atwell, right side, and back to Atwell. Atwell launches a triple. Falls short, out of bounds. It'll go to Port Huron High.
You know, you can't fault Jennifer Atwell there. The Lady Huskies are way down. She's trying a three-point play. It might not be the highest percentage of shots, but if she gets a couple of those to go, you can get back into the game real quick.
Up ahead it'll go now for Haino. Back out top. Working is Nichols. Nichols gets it inside, laying it up, won't fall. For Golding, rebound, followed and through by Haino. 43-18 our score. 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Down deep in the corner it'll go, back out top. Firing, and had it blocked was Burt. And that'll do it for 3 quarters of play, and Port Huron Northern trails 43-18 to the Big Reds of Port Huron High. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back to CPHS Channel 6 High School Girls Basketball. Port Huron Northern trailing 43-18 after 3 quarters of play. Randy Fernandez, Steve Koppel, glad to have you along with this matchup. Crosstown rivalry, it hasn't gone well for Port Huron Northern thus far, Randy.
Well, Port Huron High really increased their lead. It was 25-12 at the halftime and is extended to 43-18. And even though Coach Pope has emptied the bench, they really put on an offensive spurt.
Nichols on the drive, missed the bucket, and the rebound tapped out of bounds. It'll stay with Port Huron High.
Again, you haven't seen any of the Northern players with their head down. They're not quitting. This is for pride. And again, Steve, we've seen this. You're an ex-Northern graduate. year to year, game to game, the rivalry. Each year it's different. Port Huron High one year, Port Huron Northern the next year, and these things stick in their mind, and they want to win this game more than anybody.
Ball into the hands of Stein. She'll fire the shot up, won't fall for her, but she'll be fouled and go to the line for a couple. You're right, Randy. This rivalry always is a classic one, even though Port Huron Northern on the short end of the score thus far tonight. At this point, the coach is saying, all right, we're down 43-18 at the end of 3. Let's try to win a quarter here. Let's try to get some kind of a victory out of this, even though obviously the game most likely out of reach here. Stein, first of 2 on the way and through.
I know one thing. I know Coach Chesesky of Port Huron Northern would like to recruit some of the other lady athletes at Port Huron Northern. They have a well-rounded volleyball team, and their tennis team, lady tennis team, is ranked in the top 5 in the state, undefeated. And again, you can only play one sport during the time. And again, hurts him a little bit because they're a little talent thin this year, but they've got some fine lady athletes that play in other programs during the Fall Sports League for Port Huron Northern.
Second rebound didn't go. The ball tapped out of bounds. It'll go to Port Huron Northern. Shot won't fall for Danielle Deal. Ball tied up, taken by Port Huron High. And it'll go over to Port Huron High on the change of possession. Christy Haino battling for the rebound. 7:28 to go here in the fourth quarter. 43-19 the score. Nichols with the ball for the Big Reds. Kicks it off left side for Golding. Running jumper from the baseline. Off the iron and through. Golding with 4 on the night, 45-19.
That ball hit the front of the rim and went in. Everything's going Port Huron High's way this evening.
Left wing it'll go now for Kathy Peak. Peak works it out top. And the ball has bounced Port Huron High's way. The bucket's been closed for Northern most of the night. Stoken works it back out. Katie Carey with the rebound. Fires it underneath. Won't fall. Rebound into the hands of Port Huron High, and Kelly Nichols across the timeline had some hair in her eyes, tries to get that out of the way, and now battles between the circles with Katie Carey. Ball nearly stolen away, taken by Haino, back to Nichols. Nichols fires a running jumper, won't fall. Rebound by Carey. All alone, she's got one person to beat. She'll drive down, lay it up, won't fall. Rebound taken by Haino. Good hustle by Kelly Nichols to get back.
Real nice hustle by Miss Nichols to get back, but credit to sophomore Katie Carey. She got the rebound. She went 3/4 of the court. And again, if we had instant replay, she was on the left-hand side of the basket, and she put it up with her left hand. And they teach you to do that in both men's and women's sports, but how many people actually do it?
Yep, they did a nice job that time, did Katie Carey. But then after missing the layup, a little bit of a frustration foul for Carey. And then we'll send Christy Haino to the line. She's got 4 on the night, 2 for 2 from the line this evening. 6:32 to go in the fourth quarter, 45-19. Port Huron High with the lead, make it 46-19.
Well, if you look at this Lady Big Red team, they could almost make this into 2 teams and compete in the competitive MAC conference. George Popa's team goes, it looks like about 9 or 10 players deep, and I'll tell you, that can really help you down the stretch in an important ball game.
Sure can. Second one won't fall for Haino. Rebound by Port Huron Northern, lays it up for Dana Deal. She chases it down and carries the ball. So Danielle Deal turns the ball over, Port Huron Northern. Good hustle to get under that long pass though. 6:20 remaining here in the fourth. Naomi Wilson up across the timeline for Port Huron High, 46-19 the score. Turnaround jumper won't fall for Peter. Rebound tapped up against the back of the glass, and Port Huron Northern takes over.
Watching this game, you might wonder, you see Coach Popa, every once in a while he'll bring a starter back in, just like now with Naomi Wilson. But again, they've got to get in the swing. They're one game out of the lead with Sterling Heights, and they've got to get these people some playing time.
Wilson with the steal, lays it up and in. Naomi, nice play there defensively. She's got 10 on the night. Second player in double figures for the Big Reds. Julie Berry, the leading scorer on the night with 12. Timeout on the floor, Port Huron Northern. With 5:50 to go in the fourth, 48-19 the score. The Big Reds with the lead. And looks like the Big Reds will break into double digits on the left-hand win side of the column at 10-2. And a very well-executed ball game by Port Huron High tonight. They didn't do anything fancy. They played good fundamental basketball thus far, and they've gotten off to that big lead.
Well, there's no doubt about it. There was a lot of how can I put it, going into the new season, jumping from the Eastern Michigan League for both men's and women's sports into the Macomb Area Conference. You know, we read in the papers, we heard on the radio how much stronger a conference it was with teams like Sterling Heights, Stevenson, Chippewa Valley, Utica Ford, etc. But I'll tell you, both the men's and women's overall programs for both these schools have adjusted real well. In fact, with the Port Huron Northern boys football team knocking off state-ranked, was it Sterling Heights or Utica Eisenhower last week?
Utica
there.
Eisenhower.
You know, Port Huron high schools can compete with anybody on a given night, and that's good to see.
That's for sure. You could see George Popa talking to his troops there during the timeout, trying to tell them, hey, it's still a 32-minute ball game. You got to play hard throughout the entire ball game. Ball nearly stolen away by Port Huron High. Northern keeps it. Adwell fires a running 12-footer. Rebound hauled down by Nichols. She just wrestled that one away up ahead to Naomi Wilson. Nice dish off. Block. Nice block by Perry. On the shot attempt by Christy Berry.
Well, the northern crowd on our side of the east side of the stadium here is gymnasium been pretty quiet, but what a block there brought the crowd to its feet on both sides.
Good defensive play will always do that. Off the glass for Naomi Wilson. Count the bucket, count the foul. Naomi's got a dozen. 5:24 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 50-19 our score. Port Huron High with the lead in. Naomi Wilson trying to make the old three-point play the old-fashioned way from the free throw line.
Well, Port Huron High trying to go for a double sweep tonight as the Port Huron High junior varsity Lady Big Reds defeated Port Huron Northern JV team by a score of 49-39 in our first game this evening.
Free throw won't fall for Naomi. Foul or rebound by Jennifer Perry. Back out top now for Holly Bird. 5.5 to go here in the fourth quarter. 50-19 our score. Inside it'll go. Turnaround jumper by Sherry Smith, who has checked back into the ball game. Naomi Wilson now with it for Port Huron High. Naomi drives the lane, lays it up lefty, and lays it home. 14 for Naomi.
Well, you can see why some smaller schools are looking at Naomi. She doesn't have a lot of size, only at 5'1", but boy, she gets up and down that court. She can do it all, offensively and defensively for the Lady Big Reds.
Ball tapped out of bounds by Port Huron High's Catrice Knight. It'll stay with Port Huron Northern. 4:49 to go here in the fourth quarter. Laura Keller checks back out, and Katie Carey back into the ball game now for Northern. Jennifer Perry inbounds, gets it back right side. Cross-court pass to Smith. Kind of surprising to see Smith back in the ball game. She stops, dumps it off to Carey. Carey tosses it over to Holly Burt. Back to Smith. Smith trying to drive the lane. Triple team, couldn't get through it. Berry comes down. That's Christy Berry with the rebound for Port Huron High.
Well, I'm quite surprised to see Sherry Smith myself. I'm sure she's sitting on the sidelines asking and begging probably Coach Krzyzewski to get her back in the ball game. We've seen her set out for almost over a quarter, and on her very first play, you saw her ankle get stepped on, hobbling around. So I don't know, but you can definitely tell she's a gamer.
Julie Berry trying to go with the alley-oop pass to Christy Knight, or Catrice Knight rather. That didn't connect, and Port Huron Northern back with the ball. 4:10 to go here in the fourth quarter. Adwell right wing for Carey. Tried to get it across court, tapped away back into the hands of Perry, and saving it is Carey, but right into the hands of Kelly Nichols, who loses it and turned out of bounds. It'll go back over to Port Huron Northern. Things get a little bit raggedy sometimes. You get some of the second string players in there, and they want so badly to make a good impression on the coach that sometimes they have a little bit of trouble hanging onto the ball.
Well, looking down on both teams, looks like both teams have almost got a full complement of starters back in the ball game, except for maybe one or two players on each side. And again, even though the game is out of hand right now at 52-19, these are the people you go with, and you got to prepare for the next ball game next Tuesday night.
Cross-court pass will go to Smith. Smith tops and tries to fire to Atwell at her feet, though, and Jennifer couldn't hang on. Back over to the Big Reds with 3:47 to go. It's been really a turnover-plagued quarter. Both teams having a little bit of trouble getting back started now.
Well, there's no doubt about it. And you see the Lady Huskies now go into a full-court man-to-man press. A little bit late, but always a good thing to work on for the next ball game.
That's for sure. Up ahead it'll go for Port Huron High, and a walk will be called on Latasha Campbell.
And you can see the first time he slaps it on, it works. And maybe Coach Krzyzewski's going, hey, can we start this one over again? And I'll do that from the get-go.
Definitely did work well that time for Port Huron Northern. They get the ball back, 3.5 to go here in the fourth. They trail 52-19. Inside to Smith, turnaround jumper off the double team, won't fall. Berry comes down with the rebound, up ahead to Collier. And I believe we're going to have a foul on Jennifer Perry. Tell you, Perry's been a gritty one out there tonight. She's stuck her nose right in there.
Well, again, she hit 12 points against Utica Ford on Tuesday night, and she's really been the leader with Sherry Smith out of there. And again, you will never find either one of these, a Coach Pope or Coach Oseskia team, quit. It's 32 minutes, and they'll play the string out.
Before we get too much farther here, I do want to wish George Popa's wife Mary a very happy 40th birthday. Mary Popa turning 40.
You had to throw the year in there. Our director has a birthday this evening also.
That's exactly right.
But she's not 40, is she? I don't think
Sue
she's
Broadhagen turning a very healthy 23 tonight. 54-19 is our score as Collier hits both of them. Mary Popa, of course, proud of being 40, as well she should be. Oh, some of us hope to get that far. Some of us better be quiet or we might not. Up ahead now, a goal for Port Huron High. Collier with the steal. Battling against Smith, brings it up across the timeline. Down deep, it'll go for Hepting, won't fall for her. Rebound, turnaround jumper, won't go that time for Sherry Hubbard. And Northern comes away with the rebound. Up across the timeline, Katie Carey. Across now for Burt. Right wing and back out top. Free throw line extended right for Smith. Back to Adwell. Running baseline jumper off the side of the iron. No. Latasha Campbell with the rebound off her foot. It'll go to Port Huron Northern.
Well, Jennifer Atwell tried her patent shot from the corner there off the dribble, but unfortunately couldn't get it to go. And we got another substitution for the Lady Big Reds.
Into the ball game comes again Jackie Peter. Seen limited action here tonight. Ball stolen on the inbounds by Port Huron High, and we'll have a travel call right away on Jenny Hepting, 5'6" junior. Getting a little PT here with a 54-19 score, 2:39 to go here in the fourth quarter. Jennifer Perry to Sherry Smith, right wing, back to Perry, 12-foot baseline jumper, a little strong rebound to Port Huron High. Long up-court pass stolen by Smith into the hands, though, of Sherry Hubbard. Wouldn't fall for her. Rebound by Hubbard. She's battling in there, and she gets the bucket. And obviously, Port Huron High faithful very happy with that. Sherry doesn't get a whole lot of playing time, but she gets the bucket there.
Oh, quite tenacious on the offensive rebound there. Paid off for, and that's what, that's what the coaches teach them. Hard work eventually will pay off.
And it certainly did there. Left wing it'll go now to Smith. Free throw line extend to left, back left wing to Adwell and around top. Back to Adwell and back to Smith now. Running pass. Try to get it to Burton. We'll have a foul with 1:54 remaining in the fourth quarter. Latasha Campbell will check out probably for the final time tonight. Christy Haino back into the ball game. Foul on Port Huron High.
Well, you really need a scorecard with the way Coach Pope is substituting these players, and again with our obstructed view here, hard for us to see the south end corner of the gymnasium.
Smith players well short on the 12-footer. Rebound comes away, and Collier around the run for Port Huron High. Stops, pops, well short, out of bounds. It'll stay with Port Huron High. Another thing you got to wonder, Sherry Smith has not been Sherry Smith of old tonight as far as shooting, and it's elevation too on your jump shot. When you have a bad ankle, your elevation and where you release the ball, everything's all screwed up.
Very good mechanics to point out, Steve. You're exactly right. And again, just psychologically, when you got a little bit of pain, we saw that one baseline move she made earlier, and you mentioned the ankle, and she hasn't made it since. And again, that's a patented move if she's healthy.
Haino's shot won't fall. Rebound and a walk by Sherry Hubbard. Hubbard, boy, I'll tell you what, at 5'8.5", she's been a battler in there. She wants to see a little more PT from Coach George Pope in the future, so she's hustling real hard in there. Long range bomb by Atwell. Finds the range from 17, and it's 56-21. Atwell with 6 on the night. No Huskies in double figures. Smith and Atwell now the leaders with 6 apiece.
Well, Jennifer's a shooter, and even though she's been cold, and she probably admitted for most of the night, that's her shot from the corner, and either side, and if it's there for her, she's got the green light to shoot it.
Now a steal by Danielle Deal. She throws it right back into the hands of Berry. And Jennifer Atwell will pick up another foul. She tried to pick the pocket of Jenny Hepting. Hepting will go to the line now for a 1-and-1. Jenny looking for her first points on the evening.
I see Julie and Christy Berry's father, Neil Berry, in the stands smiling. He's got 2 fine players there, and they're doing a fine job, one a senior, one a junior, for the Lady Big Reds.
Front end of the 1-and-1 on its way off the back of the iron nose. Smith comes away with the rebound for Port Huron High, or Port Huron Northern rather. 56-21 our score with 1:10 to go here in the 4th quarter. Ball tapped out of bounds. Good hustle play again by Hubbard. But Northern will maintain possession here. Carey will inbound to Atwell. Atwell fires a long ranger and finds the hole.
A little bit too little too late, but Jennifer's hit her last 2 buckets.
Under a minute now to go here in the 4th quarter. They'll go up ahead to Hepting. Stolen away by Perry. And we'll have the foul on Sherry Hubbard.
I'll tell you, I've been impressed with the substitute number 24, Sherry Hubbard. She is really tenacious, and I can, again, they teach you in practice, teach you in the game when you get in to make the most of your opportunity. And I tell you, she's, to me, she's improved her playing time for the next ball game. If George Pope is the one listening here of our announcing here tonight.
I'm sure he'll take our advice. That sends Port Huron High into the penalty situation.
Of course, at 9-2 and 4-1 in the MAC, I don't think he needs too much advice.
I don't think he'll take it if he needs it or not. Perry, front end of the 1-and-1, drops for Jennifer. She's got 3 now on the night with 53 seconds remaining in this ball game. 56-24, and the second one won't fall. I think we'll have a lane violation, and Perry will have another shot at it here. And she does. 3 to make 2, the old NBA style here. Makes. She's got 4 now on the night, 56-25. Northern into some full court pressure again. Really tries to get up across the timeline, stolen by Atwell. Lays it up and in. Jennifer Atwell now with 10, first player in double figures for Northern tonight. 40 seconds remaining, and stepping over the end line. Hubbard just waving, and the camera didn't see that, but Sherry Hubbard says, I don't want to even throw that. I don't even want to do that anymore.
Well, that was a nice steal by Jennifer Atwell. You can tell she hasn't quit. Again, with the left hand. Put it in with the left hand. And again, you might wonder how come the Huskies are pressing, but again, they got to get ready for the next ball game. And it's worked so far. This press has worked.
Triple try on its way from Katie Carey won't fall. Out of bounds, it'll go over to Port Huron High. You're right, at this point, they're just trying to work on something a little bit different. Northern not blessed with a lot of team quickness, and I'm sure a press for a long period of time wouldn't work real well for them. But it is something definitely that they want to see happen, and Perry fouls on the inbounds pass. That'll send Julie Berry to the line. She's got a dozen on the night with 33 seconds remaining in the ball game.
And if you notice, Coach Pope is still coaching. Even though his team's up by 29 points with only 33 seconds to go, they haven't been able to break the Northern press, and he's up. He's not happy with it. He's trying to get his players where they should go because, again, they got some real important ball games coming up. And
Jennifer Perry falls out of the ball game with 33 seconds left. A good defensive effort by Jennifer. Battled hard in there, and that'll send Julie Berry to the line. First free throw on the night. Front of the 1-and-1 won't fall. Sherry Smith hauls down the rebound. Atwell with it. Across the timeline, working hard, gets it into the right corner, back out top now for Smith, 24 seconds left. Atwell, triple try, falls short, rebound to Port Huron High. Triple team will have a foul on Jennifer Atwell with 18 seconds left.
She was kind of mauled there by 3 Northern players. Again, kind of a senseless foul with 18 seconds. But again, you got to give referee Newenham, it was a foul, and he called it.
That will send Jenny Hepting to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. (56-27) our score in the fourth quarter. Hepting front end of the 1-and-1 falls. So Jenny Hepting gets her first point of the night. 9 players for Port Huron High have scored here this evening. Very balanced attack. Port Huron Northern haven't scored a whole lot, but they have shown some good balance. They haven't relied solely on Sherry Smith, as Hepting hits the second as well. 58-27, 13 seconds remaining. Sherry Smith, she'll launch the 3. That falls short, out of bounds with 9 seconds remaining. Port Huron High will inbound. Hubbard goes to Deal. Deal will fire it up from 12 with 5 seconds remaining. Chasing it down is Katie Carey. Ball on the floor with 2 seconds left. Port Huron High will have it. Hubbard will throw the long pass. With 1 second left, we'll have a travel call by John Haas. That time it was Jackie Peter trying to get a little running start before she threw up the long court shot.
It definitely has been a good, I've been very impressed with the Lady Big Reds, and I can see why they're one of the better teams in the state of Michigan.
Getting Atwell at the buzzer will throw up the prayer, won't fall. And Port Huron High wins the battle of the crosstown rivals here tonight, 58-27 over the Port Huron Northern Huskies. Randy, Huskies battled hard in the first quarter, held it to within a 11-6 deficit, but Port Huron High simply just too much firepower this time around for Port Huron Northern.
You can't teach height. They've got 3 Lady Big Reds over 5'9". They're very, very quick. And again, Port Huron Northern just outmanned. But again, give the team credit. Neither team quit tonight.
Good show of sportsmanship as they go out and shake hands. And Jennifer Perry following out of the ball game tonight with 4 points. Sherry Smith at center court talking to 3 of the Big Reds. And now George Popa calling the players over. You can see the victorious Big Reds huddle. Let's run down the scoring in tonight's ball game. First for the winning Port Huron High Big Reds, Naomi Wilson led the way with some offensive wizardry. She had 14 points. Julie Berry with an even dozen. Akila Collier with 11. And a few times I forgot her name right. Natasha Campbell had 6. Christy Haino off the bench with 5. Carrie Golding with 4. Catrice Knight with a 2-point shot, that is. Sherry Hubbard and Jenny Hepting each with 2 as well. For Port Huron Northern, Jennifer Adwell with 10, Sherry Smith with 6, Jennifer Perry with 4, Dana Stein with 3, and Kathy Peak and Holly Bird wind up the scoring with 2 points apiece. Port Huron High, Randy, final comments. Port Huron High with a 10-2 record now, 5-1 in the MAC. They've got one more game, then it's Sterling Heights again.
Well, I hope we do that game because I'd like to see. There's not too many teams that look more impressive as Port Huron High did tonight, so that should be a good matchup. Again, George Popa has just a very talented lady basketball team.
Again, our final score for the final time, the Port Huron High Big Reds winners 58-27 over Port Huron Northern. For our producer, Sue Broadhagen, and for my partner, Randy Fernandez, this is Steve Campo wishing you all a very pleasant good night.